Hey there. So, there's a lot of different ways to make a belt. There's a bunch of different belts out there. There's a bunch of different types of belts out there. This is how I'm making mine. I've got harness leather here from Herman Oak. Same thing here. Well, this is vegetable tanned natural tooling leather from Herman Oak. A buckle, solid brass from Buckle Guy. We've got Ritza tiger thread to stitch it up. Needles as well as the KS blade punches. So we've got the templates ready to go. Leather, hardware, parts, all this stuff. Let's make a belt. Here I wet the belt keeper, also known as casing the leather. With a quick cleanup, I take out the stamps, and with a quick strike of the maul, I've marked the leather. This allows me to personalize with initials and kind of sets a VaryGaughn belt apart. Bevel the edges, which rounds the edges. Then a quick molding to make sure everything is even when it comes to stitching. Next, I'm punching the stitching holes so I can sew the keeper together. And boom, looks great. As you can see, nice rounded edges. It's holding its shape exactly how it should. And perfect stitching that no one will see. But still, looks great. On to oiling. I'm using Fibing's Mink oil. Really great all-around oil that will protect and hydrate the leather. This does change the color, as you can see. Using my patterns, I am starting with the buckle end. After marking everything and making sure everything lines up, time to trim the end of the belt. That is a 1-inch punch there. For stitching, I use the KS Blades stitching prongs. The number 3 is very special to me, so I have 3mm spacing, and this is the 6 prong. Now I actually punch through the leather, and I use a bone folder to pull the stitching prongs out so I'm not stretching the leather. It looks beautiful. Very nice. I do my best to be as consistent as possible. Consistent distance is somewhat easy, but consistency with the depth of the holes takes some practice. Time to skive. Basically, I'm shaving down the end of the belt to remove some bulk. Yo, don't sleep on a dustbuster. Best thing for a shop. Now I use some sandpaper to clean up the edge. This is Fibing's Edge Coat. This is going to seal up the edge of the leather. Also protect it as well. Healthy amount of it and some drying time, you're good to go. Okay, now I actually measure the belt. I use my templates, measure and mark the holes, then punch and slice it up. Now that the oil has had time to completely set, it's back to the keeper. This is Tokonol, a Japanese product that creates a beautifully burnished edge. Also seals the edge like edge coat, but this is clear. I don't normally sew a single layered belt, but for some added design aesthetic and some strength, I decided to. Using the wing divider, mark my stitching line, punch the holes around the entire piece just like before. Next is to focus on the edges of the belt. I use an edge beveler followed by some sandpaper, but this is where the attention to detail really comes into play. You got to get the edges just right. And of course, you got to tidy up. back with the edge coat. Hit the entire thing with a decent layer. Not too heavy, but I find a little bit more is better in this case. Then, the most difficult part in all of leatherworking, you gotta let it dry. Now, with some 300 grit sandpaper, remove some of the edge coat. Then add another layer. This seems redundant, I know, but by doing this, it fills in any inconsistency in the edge of the leather and gives an overall smoothness to the finish. Again, let it dry and repeat with 600 grit. This gives such a smooth, buttery finish to the edge. It is so worth the extra effort. I mean, look at that. Gorgeous. And that's the result. Little extra effort. Ugh, just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And now for side two. And here is the final result. Like I said, I have another video showing the process for sewing. But with this video, I wanted to show my process for making just a traditional belt. I made this one for my uncle, and I'm really, really proud of it. I'm self-taught. Well, more a YouTube graduate than anything. But I am proud to work with leather. I really found my passion as a leathersmith. That's what VaryGaughn is all about. If you'd like a bespoke belt for yourself or as a gift for someone you love, that's what I do. Yeah, that looks really great. Good belt.